play the flute too? What are your favorite pieces to play on flute? Okay, well, if you think of any that you want me to play, let me know. Amber. Hi, flute players. What are your favorite pieces to play, guys? Flute players, what are your favorites? Yeah, drop those favorites in the comments, and if you check my profile, I have a whole bunch of stuff on there right now, but I'm recording more all the time. So if you want to drop your favorite pieces for flute, then I'll see if I can get them recorded. All right. Okay. Yeah, I'm seeing some. All right. All right, I'll see if I can get some of those recorded, guys. Yeah, all right. Yeah, I guess, are we all flute players? I don't know. Yep. If you are, just drop your favorite pieces that you like to play. And I've got a bunch of recorded pieces on my profile if you want to check them out. So I'm in Atlanta, but I play around the globe. And I teach flute. And yeah, you play second. You play second flute? Yeah. I like the second parts because then you get to play harmonies. Clarinet, yeah, you're welcome here. Even though I don't play clarinet, but you're welcome to hang out with us today. All right. Yeah, so I teach lessons. I teach lessons in Atlanta and also online. Right now, what I'm playing are some etudes by a composer named Anderson. 6th grade, yeah. So, yeah, when I was in 6th grade, all I did all the time was play flute because I loved it so much. Is it easy? I don't know if I'd call it easy, but if you practice, then it gets easier, like anything. Yep, so I love my flute. 4th grade. Oh my goodness. That's awesome that you started so early. Yeah. So you'll be way ahead. Oh, the song. I hear you, SNC. Okay, I hear you. I'll have to look it up, you know. I'll look it up. I'm keeping a list of all the ones that you guys are suggesting, so. All right. Liliana, what's your favorite part about flute? What do you like the best? All right. Oh, it is. Yeah, it is. It is beautiful, right, Liliana? That's awesome. Okay. All right, so I'm going to play a little bit more of these etudes. But yeah, so give me a follow because I've got a lot of songs and pieces on my profile, so you can scroll through and see all the different ones. And yeah, some requests. So I'll see if I can get to those requests. And lessons. So I do lessons online too. So if you guys are interested in lessons, then give me a follow and send me a message. All right, here we go. Some more. Some more. To play the flute louder, so to play flute louder, then you just have to use more air. It's pretty simple to explain. It's harder to do, right? So when you're playing flute, you want to make sure that for loud notes, you're blowing tons and tons of air. But the thing is, it can't be too fast or too slow for the note that you want to play. So if you're playing like a low note, you can play it super loud because I'm blowing a ton of air, but for the low notes, you want to blow more into the tube. So I'm pointing it with my lip. And if I want to play loud for the high notes, then tons and tons of air, but I blow more across the tube, right? So that way I don't crack the notes, but I'm still getting a super loud sound. So a lot of times, flute players, they think we just can't play low notes very loud, but we actually can. So we can't definitely play loud. It's just all having to do with how much air you use. So it's a lot of air. So I'm getting requests, so I'm going to keep a list of all of those and see if I can record those, and they'll just be up on my profile. So just keep dropping them, and I see them. I'm paying attention. I see them. So I'll see what I can do. I do have a Harry Potter already on my profile because I'm playing it with my special head joint. My head joint that slides like this. All right, guys, if you have not seen this, let me show you really quick because it's awesome. All right, hang on. So I'm taking off my regular head joint. Let me show you guys. All right. And so I'm going to attach this one. And it's called a Glissando head joint. I've got a few videos about this one on my profile as well. Check this out. All right, here we go. So it's actually better than a trombone. Let me tell you why. Because it slides like a trombone here, but on this end, I can actually move my fingers to change the note here too, right? So I can change here. But I can change my fingers as well. So it actually does a ton. It does a little bit more than trombone. So if you like these sounds, there are some videos on my profile, but also I have a whole album. So if you look for me on Bandcamp, then you can find, I have a whole album that I've made and released of music for this. And it's called a Glissando head joint. And yeah, it's really very cool. So there's not a ton of music for it, but part of my job is to work with composers who write music for this. And so then, yeah, so then we have more music for it. So it's really awesome. So I'm seeing the request. I'm making a note of all of them, and I will do some videos. So you just make sure you follow me, and then you'll see them as they pop up. They'll be on my profile. So I can't do all of them right now, but I will make some videos. And so yeah, just make sure you give me a follow, and you'll see them as they come up in the next couple of weeks or so. All right. So yeah, any other requests, you can drop them in the chat, and just make sure you follow. Let's see, what else do we have? So this head joint also works just like a regular flute head joint, so you don't have to slide it all the time. Yeah, I can do that. I can tag you guys when I do the video. Yeah, but also if you follow, it makes it really easy too, because you'll see it pop up. But yeah, I'll try to tag as well. Hey guys who have just joined. Lots of flutes are dropping their favorite songs. And so if you have any pieces or songs that you want me to play, just drop them in the chat and I'll make a video eventually, and you'll see them on my profile. So just make sure that you follow so that those will, so you'll get the video when it pops up. Do I articulate? Yeah. So let's see. Here's a double tonguing exercise. Lots of articulation. Let me see where it is. I just played it. Well, where was it? So double tonguing is fun. Here we go. Let's see. So toe or two, usually I say ta, like taka 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 taka, like that. So I say like a T-U-H sound, ta. Yeah. So Liliana, so if I remember correctly, you haven't been playing long, right? So one thing that will help is just to practice more because we're not used to using as much air for flute as we do just like for everyday breathing. But also it helps to make sure that you're not blowing too much air. So a lot of times the flute, we waste air because the flute, listen guys, the flute takes more air to play than the tuba does, right? And so the reason for it is because the tuba, when you play the tuba, all the air goes into the mouthpiece, right? When we play flute, part of the air goes into the embouchure hole, but part of it goes over, right? And so not all the air that we breathe out actually goes into the instrument, and it can. It just doesn't work that way. So part of the air goes into the tube, part of the air goes over the tube, and that's why it takes so much air. So we're not used to using that much. So if you feel like you're running out of air really fast, one thing you can do is just make sure you're not blowing too much over, because I'm not going to get a great sound and I'm going to run out of air super, super fast. So I'm going to make sure I'm blowing into the tube. And then I get a better sound and I don't run out of air so fast. So try that, see if that helps. Maybe that'll help just a little bit. But then also just practicing, because I know you haven't been playing a super long time. So that'll help too. All right. Yeah, so we're having a flute party, apparently, guys. So if you've just joined, people are dropping songs that they want me to record in the chat, and I will get to that. Oh, good, Liliana. I hope it helps. Let me know if you have other questions. But people are dropping their favorite songs that they want me to record into the chat, and I will record those. Just make sure that you follow so that you get notifications for when those pop up. Also, we're playing a little bit with the Glissando head joint today that slides, right? So we're doing a little bit of play with that today as well. Let's see. So if you've just joined, so I'm a professional flute player in Atlanta. I teach all over the place, and I also teach lessons online and play lots of new music. All right, Liliana, we will see you around later. Yes, I'm a professional. So I have a doctorate in flute, and I teach college, and I teach beginners and everyone in between. And yes, that is my job, to play flute. A reference for just flute or for something in particular? What do you need a reference for? If flute, then I've got a ton of videos on my profile, so just check it out. I've also got a lot of videos on my YouTube. My YouTube and all my socials are on my TikTok bio in my link tree. So there's tons and tons of reference videos on YouTube as well. So whatever you need, let me know. And I will record as much as I can. Yeah. So just, drop those in the chat. Yeah, I'm making a list. So I will record as many as I can. Just make sure you follow so that you see those videos pop up as soon as they are created. All right. Yeah, you can sway as long as it's not like distracting, as long as it doesn't make your head joint move too much. No, please ask questions. That's why I'm here. We're having a flute party today. So yeah, ask questions. E natural. Which one? We have 3. Those are all E naturals. Chromatic scale. Yeah, okay. That's our chromatic scale. Hi Victoria, welcome. We're having a flute party today, I guess, aren't we? Carson. So you get them from a flute shop. So if you just Google flute shops, assuming you're in the US, you'll be able to find them. So they're called Glissando head joints. And yeah, you can find them. If you're not in the US, I'm not exactly sure who is carrying them. I don't know that they're carried at flute shops outside of the US. So you'd have to maybe do a little bit of investigation. But yeah, they are... Yeah, they are, you can find them in flute shops. All right, so yeah, we're having a flute party today. Yeah, ask me whatever questions you want. People have been dropping their favorite songs that they want recorded, so just drop those in the chat and I'll try to record them. Make sure you follow as well so that you get the notification when they are ready. So the thing on the mouthpiece, so this is a special flute head joint. It's called a glissando head joint. And it slides like this because it creates really cool sounds. How long have I been playing flute? I've been playing flute for 30 years. All right, so the head joint slides like this. So it's kind of like a trombone, but I also can move my fingers over here and make lots of cool sounds. So it makes really cool sounds, and I work with composers to write brand new music for it because obviously it doesn't work exactly the same as a flute, and so it makes really neat sounds. So sometimes it's hard to see, but this inside part is hollow, and that's how it slides. So it's got a regular cork, just like a regular flute does, has a cork right here, and so it slides just like that. And slides back this way. Yeah, so really cool. Yeah, any questions at all, just drop them in the chat. That's why we're here today. All right, so new people have joined, but so I will let you know. So I'm a professional flutist. I'm usually in Atlanta, but I play all over the globe. And I teach a lot. I teach from beginners all the way up through college level flute players, and teach lessons in Atlanta, but then also online. So if you are ever considering flute lessons, then send me a message and we can get something worked out. And I do mean this. Play this. All right. So yeah, super fun sounds, but it also works just like a regular flute joint as well. So if you are interested in hearing more with this head joint, I've released an entire album of music that's written for it. So you can find all my social stuff in my link tree in my profile. So my album is on Bandcamp, but then there's also videos, obviously here on TikTok, I've got a whole bunch, and then also on YouTube. So you can find all that stuff on my link tree. Yes, Sparky, it is a glissando head joint. So Savannah, you get them from any flute shop. So if you search for flute shops, assuming you're in the U.S., there are a handful that keep them in stock, and they're called glissando head joints. So that's all you have to look for. And if you're outside of the U.S., I'm not actually sure. I'll have to do some research and see where they're carried. But in the U.S., there are a handful of flute companies that keep them in stock. Yeah, they're very cool. Very cool. Other things, people have been making requests for certain pieces or songs. So if you have one that you want, you can drop it in the chat and I'll get to it as soon as I can. Just make sure that you follow as well so that you'll get the notification when the video pops up. You are welcome, Savannah. Yeah, lots of good flute stuff on just different videos here on my profile, also on YouTube. There's a lot of stuff there. Yeah, so lots of playing, lots of videos. Yeah, and lots of flute lessons. So again, if you're interested in flute lessons, give me a shout out. Swan Lake, I see you, Ava. I see you. So I'll add it to my list. I can't do a ton tonight because I don't have a lot of time left for my live this evening, but I will put it on my list. Just make sure you follow and you'll get the notification once it's ready. Let's see. Yes, Lucy, Audrey, it's moving because it's a glissando head joint. Glissando head joint. So it's designed to move. This part is hollow, and that means that we can be a trombone, but squared, right? So, oops, Alexa, dismiss. So it's so I can move the head joint this way, but also I can change fingers over here at the same time. So. I'm not sure how much they are, Alexa. You'll have to check it out. Just if you search for any flute store in the U.S., then you can see. I don't know. I've had mine for a while, so I'm not sure how much they run at the moment. Yes, it is your sign to practice. It's always time to practice. Always. Unless we're sleeping or eating Doritos. Otherwise, it's time to practice. It's called a glissando head joint. Glissando head joint. Yeah. And again, I've got tons of, I have an album of music for this head joint on my, on Bandcamp. You can see all my social links on my link tree in my profile. So there's an album of glissando head joint pieces on Bandcamp. And then, yes, glissando head joint. And then also videos. I have videos on my TikTok of the glissando head joint. I'm thinking of multiple links at the same time, so I can't get my words out. But yeah, so I've got videos on TikTok as well as on YouTube, but the album is on Bandcamp. So you can hear more for the glissando head joint. Not just like demonstrations, but actual pieces that use it, which is interesting. What's it for? It's for because the flute has existed for a very long time, and it continues to be developed and changed and adapted as it goes through history. And so this is just one more adaptation of taking an extremely old instrument and seeing what else it can do. So there's lots of music that's being written for it. I work with composers to get new music written for the glissando head joint, and that's what it's for. So so it's super fun. And so other things that we've been talking about since I've been on this live today, if you have a piece or a song that you would like for me to play, just drop it in the chat, and I'm keeping up with all of those, and I will get those videos out as I can in the coming weeks. Just make sure you follow so that you get notified when the videos are ready for you to listen to. And just let me know. Also, Kathleen, it's not super new, but it has not been around forever. Harry Potter, I've got some Harry Potter already on my TikTok feed. And in fact, I used my glissando head joint on that one because I thought it would sound cool. So there is some Harry Potter already. It's pinned, actually. It's pinned on my profile. Let's see. Hey song. So Addison, I've got it on the list. I'll make a list of all the songs. If you have other questions, apparently we're having a flute party this evening. So if you have other questions that you have about flute or playing flute, or I see you, AJ. Anything at all, let me know. So I'm a professional flutist in Atlanta, and I teach here from beginners all the way through college age students, and I also teach online lessons. So if you're interested in taking flute lessons, no matter where you may be, then send me a message and we will chat. So let's see. Let's hear a little bit more, huh? Let's see. Yeah, Pink Panther. I might have to play Pink Panther on my alto flute. So I have an alto flute as well. That's the one that's lower than our regular flute. Between regular flute and a bass, we have an alto. Let's see. All right. Thank you, Naya. Yeah, B flat scale. I've got some scales posted already. If I don't have B flat, that'll go on the list as well. Yeah, so if you want to, I'm collecting requests in our flute party right now. So if you want to drop things that you would like explanations for or demonstrations of, let me know. And oh, you want to hear it on this? So yeah, it's a little tricky to do that. I'll have to see if I can. That's not a bad idea, actually. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. So it's a glissando head joint. So a bunch of people have just come in. So I will go through my introduction again. So I'm a professional flutist in Atlanta. I play a lot and record and teach. I teach here in Atlanta, but I also teach online. So if you're interested in online lessons, let me know. I teach beginners all the way through college. This is a glissando head joint. And so it's designed so that this part right up here is open and hollow. And so it slides like this. And I can get really interesting sounds. So I can slide this way, which makes people think about trombones. But I also can move my fingers over here at the same time. So it's like trombone, but better because it's a flute. So I see you, Addison. I'll put that on the list. If you want to hear more, I've got a bunch on my TikTok feed, but also on my YouTube channel. And then I've released an album that's on Bandcamp that's music for this. You can find all of those on my link tree. It's in my bio. So check out my bio if you're interested in that. Otherwise, just make sure you follow because I'm doing videos all the time. Sometimes with this, sometimes not. One that is pretty decent is the Harry Potter theme on Glissando head joint, so you can hear that. It's pinned, so it's really easy to find. But yeah, so just lots and lots of videos and such everywhere. Any other questions? I had a bunch of questions, and now we're talking a lot about this. But if you also have flute questions, like how do I do this, or how do I do that, or I'm having trouble with this, then yeah, feel free to ask those. I do have Rhapsody in Blue already. I have it recorded. It's on my feed. All right, let's see. Do you mean a scale on this? So that's a little bit tricky because I have to figure out where all the spots are on the head joint just to play a scale because I don't normally do that. So the head joint, when it's like this, it's in home position, and so it plays just like a regular head joint. And then it depends on what you're playing over here. So it's not always the same depending on how much you slide it. Like if you're playing one note, it might slide a half step, but if you're playing a different note, this might slide more than a half step or less, right? So it's not consistent all the time because it depends on what fingers are pressed down or open. Yeah, so it's a little tricky just to like whip out a scale. How do you do smooth dynamics? Yeah, so dynamics are all related to the amount of air that you're blowing into the tube. So if you want loud dynamics, you blow more air, and if you want quiet dynamics, you blow less air. So you're just gonna continue, you'll change, like if you're doing a crescendo, then you'll use a teeny tiny amount. I like to think of like a laser beam of air, and then you'll expand it like you turn on a water faucet. And so you just get it slowly bigger and bigger and bigger until you get the dynamic you want. And then a decrescendo would be the exact opposite. So like a water faucet of air, like completely open water faucet of air, and then you just get it smaller and smaller and smaller until you get a laser beam of air. It takes practice though, so if you're having trouble with it, that makes sense because it's not easy to do right away. But just maybe use that visual of expanding the air and then making it smaller. Saxophones are welcome here too at the flute party. So yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, of course. Absolutely. Yeah, any other questions or any other pieces? Hi, Bella. Yes, we're having a flute party tonight. Okay. Bella, what's your concert about? Is it a band concert? Or you? So how do you play low notes really loud? Here's the secret. We can play low notes so loud. Nobody thinks we can, but we can play them so loud. The way that we do it is we use a ton of air, but it has to be slow, okay? So if you blow a ton of fast air, I'm going to crack the note. I'm going to overblow it to the next octave, right? It's going to sound terrible. So I'm going to blow a ton of air, but it's going to be slow moving. So there's like two different things. It has to be slow, but there has to be a lot of it. Think about like when a waterfall like first starts to fall over a cliff, it's moving like this. It's so slow, but there's a lot of it, right? So, right? I'm using lots and lots of air, but it's just moving very slowly, just like a waterfall is about to come over the cliff, right? It's moving slowly at first. Try that, see if it helps. Yeah, band, awesome. And yeah, enjoy your concerts this week, guys. That sounds awesome. Very cool. All right, yeah. So a bunch of people have just come in. So I'm talking today a little bit about the glissando head joint. It's just a flute party, a little bit about flute playing, flute questions, flute pieces that you want me to record. If you want to drop the names in the chat, then I'm keeping up with those, and I'll record them in the coming weeks. Just make sure you follow so that you get the notification when they're ready for you to watch. Bella, you are going to crush that solo. It's going to be awesome. I want you to tell me about how it goes once you play it on Wednesday. So I'm a professional flutist based in Atlanta. I teach beginners all the way through college players. I play a lot. I record. I work with composers to write new music for flute, for both glissando flute and regular flute. And you can see all of that stuff on TikTok, YouTube. My albums are on Bandcamp, and all of those links are in my link tree in my bio, so you can find all that. Flight of the Bumblebee. Yeah, that's on the list. Yes, that is on the list. Clarinet. Yes, welcome. American Legion. I'll put it on the list. Put it on the list. Yeah, so any questions, I am here to answer questions this evening. So, yeah, if you have flute questions or music questions, let me know. I want to hear about your concerts. I want to hear about your solos, all of the things. All right, let's do a little bit more glissando stuff. Guys, so any last questions? I'm about to log off for now, but any other questions about flute, about music, about this, about pieces you want me to record, drop into the chat, anything at all? Okay, so once again, if you've just joined me today, so I'm a flutist in Atlanta. I'm a professional flutist. I have a doctorate in flute performance. I teach and play and record. I teach from ages beginner all the way through college. And you can find all my videos, which are pieces, but also teaching tips, on obviously TikTok, also on YouTube. And you can find my recorded albums on Bandcamp. All of those links are in my link tree in my bio. So if you are interested in lessons, let me know, because I teach online, because we're all online, right? So I teach online. So if you are interested in flute lessons, send me a message and we'll get something scheduled. But otherwise, have a lovely evening, and I will be back soon. And I will be working on videos of things that you're asking me. Yeah, so have a good evening.